To draw the kind of spicy manga the fans go crazy for, this manga artist actually plans to go on an outdoor reference shoot with a cat girl. But after a full round of shooting, the artist keeps feeling the main girl's expression is missing that certain spark. No matter how much he tries to bait her with a banana, he just can't get the look he wants. Thankfully a light bulb goes off. He suddenly remembers her absolute favorite thing, cigarettes. And sure enough, the second that cig comes out, the girl's whole face lights up with insane excitement. Every single expression is absolutely perfect manga material. And speaking of outdoor scenes, well, a public restroom is basically a must-have location. But just as the artist pushes the girl into the restroom for the shoot, the girl's little sister just happens to witness the whole thing. With just one casual glance, the sister instantly understands everything. But before she can even make a move, someone quickly calls the cops, reporting a suspicious pair in the bathroom. And the very next second, the artist along with the main girl gets dragged off to the police station. After this whole mess, the little sister forcibly drags the main girl back to their hometown to reflect on her life. Since he still hasn't finished gathering his references, the artist has no choice but to beg the main girl's best friend, the caring cat, to be his model. And to capture that specific innocent girl type expression, the artist launches a full-blown assault of various tactics on the caring cat. The footage is so wild, it would never pass any censorship. One day the main girl picks up a part-time gig at a tea house, but wouldn't you know it, she slips and spills a drink all over the crime boss's head. Seeing this, his underling immediately reaches for his piece to teach her a lesson, but the boss calls him off because he's literally watched this girl grow up since she was tiny. He's basically considered her as his own daughter for ages. And no, I don't mean age-wise. Right then the underboss reminds the boss that it's time to brief the new recruits, but because the boss just snuck a peek at the main girl earlier, he's currently in a very awkward state. The next second, the entire mahjong table gets lifted up by the boss. A little while later, Kyoko also shows up at the tea house, wanting to game together after the girl gets off work. And looking at the completely plain Kyoko, the underboss suddenly understands exactly what his boss is feeling, so he sits down too, forming a perfect two-man tense standoff with the boss. Classic. A few days later, the boss gets caught up in a gang fight, takes a bullet straight to the heart. The doctor even issues a critical condition notice, telling everyone to brace for the worst. The underboss wants the main girl to be there for the boss's final moments. Hearing this, the girl grabs the boss's hand and presses it right against her chest. But who would have thought this move literally triggers a miracle? The boss's lungs suddenly kick back into high gear, his vitals stabilize completely, and his heart starts pounding again. And that little tent popping up on the hospital bed is exactly the secret behind the boss's miraculous resurrection. One morning, Kyoko fires up her stream and decides to introduce her viewers to her adorable neighbors. First up is the Kansai cat, about to head out and toss her trash. Faced with this sudden chance to be in the spotlight, the Kansai cat immediately launches into her corny puns, though the reaction is clearly a total flop. Kyoko, afraid of boring content, knocks on the door of neighbor number 2, the alcoholic cat. Even though the alcoholic cat looks like a total loli, she's actually a full-grown adult. But since the alcoholic cat is too drunk to even think straight, Kyoko heads upstairs to find neighbor number 3, the yellow cat. Turns out the yellow cat is right in the middle of smoking her homemade hookah, and immediately the platform slaps her with a violation warning. The yellow cat quickly shoos Kyoko out the door. Left with no choice, Kyoko knocks on the manga artist's door, but instead the artist just grabs onto Kyoko and starts rambling about the plot of her next manga, clearly planning to use Kyoko as fresh reference material. Realizing this place is a danger zone, Kyoko finally lands at the main girl's apartment, the heavyweight champion. The second the door opens, it's a war zone. Trash and random junk piled up everywhere inside, but weirdly the main girl is nowhere to be seen. They finally find her out on the balcony, and she's actually harvesting honey from a wild hive. Seeing that none of her neighbors are even remotely normal,